You scream. Nobody turns around. Not because they're rude, because they physically cannot see you. You look down at your hands. Gone. Not blurry, not faded. Gone. 3 hours ago, you were the 201st person on Earth to receive an experimental gene therapy that teaches human skin to bend light instead of reflecting it. You thought you'd feel like a superhero. Instead, you feel like a ghost standing in the middle of a train station, watching your own species walk through you like you never existed. So here's the question that should terrify you. If you could vanish completely, right now, forever, would the world even notice you were gone? For centuries, invisibility lived only in myth. A ring that vanished a hobbit, a cloak that hid a wizard. A story, nothing more. But scientists never stopped chasing it. By the 2040s, engineers had built metamaterials that bend light around solid objects, hiding tanks from radar, planes from satellites. The real breakthrough wasn't military, it was biological. Researchers studying octopus and squid skin discovered something remarkable. These creatures don't hide by covering themselves. They hide by reprogramming how their own cells interact with light. So scientists asked a terrifying question. What if human skin could learn to do the same thing? They engineered a treatment, not a suit, not a cloak, a permanent cellular rewrite that teaches melanocytes, the very cells that give your skin color, to redirect light around your body instead of absorbing or reflecting it. The first trials were quiet. Then, Subject 1 vanished from an observation room mid-sentence. The footage leaked in 19 minutes. Within 2 years, there was a wait list longer than most surgeries. So what actually happens when a version of you disappears from human sight, permanently, completely, and irreversibly? It happens in 4 phases. The first hour is euphoria. You wave your invisible hand in front of a mirror and see nothing but the mirror behind it. You laugh. You cry. You feel like you've cheated reality itself. By hour 6, the euphoria cracks. You walk into your own kitchen and your roommate screams. Not because she's happy to see you, because a cabinet door just opened on its own and a sandwich floats across the room. You realize something nobody warned you about. Invisibility doesn't hide your body. It hides you. Your clothes still need to be worn. Your food is still visible while it's being chewed. You are a ghost wearing a costume of normalcy, and the costume keeps slipping. By hour 12, you try to order coffee. The barista looks directly through you and serves the person behind you. You don't exist to the economy anymore. No face for facial recognition. No presence for a security camera. No reflection for a phone screen. By hour 24, the government calls. Not to congratulate you, to register you. Because an untraceable, unrecordable human being isn't a miracle to a government. It's a threat. By week 2, thousands more have taken the treatment. Not scientists, not soldiers. Ordinary people, desperate for a way out of debt, surveillance, abusive relationships, or simply their own unbearable visibility. Crime statistics do something nobody predicted. They don't spike, they fracture. Some invisible people become saints, sneaking into war zones to deliver aid no soldier could reach. Others become nightmares, walking into private spaces no lock could stop. Trust, the invisible glue holding society together, starts to dissolve. Stores stop trusting empty air near their shelves. Partners start doubting who's really alone in the room with them. Parents install motion sensors in nurseries, terrified of things they cannot name. By month 3, are you visible? Becomes the first question on every first date, every job interview, every parole hearing. Entire industries collapse. Fashion, built on being seen, mutates into something stranger. Clothes coated in tracking dye just so the wearer can prove they exist. Cameras become useless. Passwords become worthless the moment an invisible hand can hover over any keyboard unseen. We built an entire civilization on the assumption that people can be seen, counted, and held accountable. Invisibility doesn't break the law. It breaks the foundation the law stands on. By year 2, humanity does what it always does. It adapts. New technology emerges. Thermal imaging glasses, heartbeat sensors, pressure-sensitive flooring that lights up under invisible footsteps. Being invisible stops being magic and starts being inconvenient. Every building you enter now detects your heat signature. Every doorway hums with sensors built specifically to out you. The world simply rebuilds itself around your absence. A strange new class system emerges. The wealthy can afford heat-masking suits, invisibility on top of invisibility. The poor, who took the treatment out of desperation, are the ones institutions hunt hardest, tagged and tracked by ankle beacons for public safety. And something quieter happens too. Invisible people start finding each other. Underground communities form, not to hide, but to finally be seen by people who understand what it means to disappear. They develop their own language, taps, patterns, scent-marked meeting spots. Proof that even people who cannot be seen still desperately need to be known. A decade passes. Invisibility is no longer rare. It's regulated. Governments require mandatory heat signature implants for every citizen who takes the treatment. A visible soul stitched onto an invisible body. The irony lands hard. Humanity spent a decade building technology to make people disappear, then spent the next decade building technology to make sure nobody ever truly could. Children born to invisible parents grow up never having seen their mother's face, only her outline, her voice, the warmth of her hand. They ask questions no generation has ever had to answer. What does it mean to love someone you've never truly seen? Here is the question nobody in that lab wanted to ask out loud. If you strip away the one thing every human has used to judge each other for 200,000 years, the face, do we become kinder because we can no longer discriminate by appearance? Or do we become crueler because accountability disappears along with the body? We built morality on the assumption that someone is always watching, or could be. Invisibility doesn't just hide your face. It tests whether your character was ever real, or just a performance for an audience that could see you. Maybe the most disturbing part of invisibility isn't disappearing from the world. It's discovering exactly who you are when nobody is left to witness it. So here's the question. If you could become completely invisible tomorrow, with no way to ever undo it, would you take the treatment? Would you use that power to help people who'd never know your name, or to finally become someone the world could never hold accountable? Drop your answer below. I read every single one.